Hi everyone, I am back with your weekly Tarotscope for the week of October 9th to the 15th. I'm using the Halloween Tarot and the Lay Vampire Oracle for the month of October. You can also, if you follow me on Instagram, I do a daily reading where I draw a card from each of these decks. If you hear noises in the background, that is my stepkids upstairs. I think they're okay, they're quiet now, but we'll see. If you hear noises, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Anyway, as always, I'll be starting with Aries. If you know your sun sign, which I'm assuming you do if you're watching this, that's probably the most important one, and that's the one where your consciousness is at, what you're paying attention to this week, what you're thinking about. That's the thing that's going to be the most important. If you know your moon sign, that's where your emotions are going to be, how your emotional life is going to play out this week. And if you know your rising sign, that's going to show kind of what's going on around you in your general life. So if you know those things, it can give you a little bit more of a specific reading. Of course, you can always get a personal reading as well. You can click the links below to my Etsy shop to get a personal reading. Did you like how I segued that? Anyway, let's get started. So for Aries, we have the 10 of Imps or 10 of Wands. So Aries, this is a week where you may be feeling very overly responsible, feeling like you've got too much on your plate, you're carrying a lot of burdens, and not just your responsibilities, but other people's as well. So it's time to ask for some help. You don't have to do it all yourself. And also it's a time where if you have other people's responsibilities, put them down. They're not yours to carry. For Taurus, we have the Page of Ghosts or the Page of Cups. So Taurus, you're feeling very sensitive this week. This is a time where you kind of have to be a little bit more protective of yourself. You have to kind of watch, make sure that you have some time alone, that you're not revealing everything to everyone, especially people that are harsh or critical. If you're working on a new project or taking care of like a new puppy or a new baby, this is a time where you just really need to be really sensitive and just care for yourself and care for those around you. So it's a very sensitive week for you. So be very protective of yourself. For Gemini, we have the 7 of Pumpkins. So Gemini, you're kind of reassessing things this week, especially when it comes to like finances or job, physical things around the home. And it's not that you're going to do everything completely different. It's just you're more reassessing like what's working for me and what's not working for me. So it's a good time to be patient with yourself and just kind of weed through the things that aren't working for you anymore. For Cancer, we have the 4 of Imps. So it's a good time, Cancer, if you have a wedding or if you're getting together with people, especially for those of you, Monday is Thanksgiving in Canada. So if you're Cancer and you're getting together with people on Monday, it'll probably go really well. It's a good time for celebrating and just enjoying yourself and giving yourself a pat on the back for all the things that you've done this year. For Leo, we have the 3 of Imps. So you feel like you're accomplishing something this week, Leo. You're getting somewhere. You're not at the finish line, but you are getting acknowledgement from others that you are getting there. So it might be like a promotion. It might be a shout out you weren't expecting, but there is acknowledgement for your creative endeavors and your hard work this week. For Virgo, we have the Magician. So a great time, Virgo, if you are looking to make a new start, to change things up. You've got all the tools in front of you. This week we have both Mars and Venus is in Virgo, although she's changing to Libra later in the week. But there's a lot of energy behind you this week for you to really kind of go for things. So look at what you have in front of you. If you were looking at making a new start, this is the week to do it, Virgo. For Libra, we have the Emperor. So Libra, you are feeling in charge this week. Venus is moving into Libra this week. We also have Sun and Mercury all in Libra. So a lot of positive energies around you to get things done. You're feeling very much in charge, feeling like you're in control. Of course, don't be too dogmatic or try not to overpower others. As Libras, you probably won't. But you're in charge of things and you're taking control of things this week. So it's a good week for you. For Scorpio, we have the 5 of Ghosts. So Scorpio, you might be feeling let down this week, feeling disappointed in others, having to let go of certain things. And it's okay to grieve. We have times where we need to do that. But it's saying that even with those losses, you still have a lot of good things around you. So don't forget about those. For Sagittarius, we have the 6 of Imps, so it's going to be a week of victory for you, Sagittarius. Things are going to go well if you are involved in a contest or looking for a promotion or involved in some kind of competition of some kind, this bodes well for you. You're going to feel very successful, like you're on top of things. There's some great news coming for you this week, Sagittarius. For Capricorn, we have the High Priestess. So very spiritual this week, Capricorn. You're very in touch with your intuition. You're very in touch with your gut. And, you know, you're usually very practical and kind of hardworking sign, but it shows that you have some pretty good gut instincts this week. It's also a week where you're going to be focusing more on your spirituality, focusing more on self-care this week. So very kind of, a very spiritual and internally focused kind of week for Capricorn. For Aquarius, we have the Ace of Imps reversed. So you may be feeling like energy is leaving you this week. You may feel drained. You may get a minor illness. There's something where you're just feeling like your energy is just not there, not inspired by things. And so it's a time for rest. We can't always force things, and sometimes we need to just let it be and just rest. And for Pisces, we have the King of Bats reversed, or the King of Swords. So Pisces, watch for harshness in your life, whether it's other people around you being critical and harsh to you. It might make you feel just very down about that. So kind of limit your exposure to people like that and try not to take it too hard. Remember that if they're being critical, if they're being harsh with you, that's about them and it's not about you. It's also saying to make sure that you're not that way with others, don't snap at others. Recognize that maybe this is a time where you just really need some self-care this week. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. It looks like the energy is a little more up this week. I pulled an interesting card for the Oracle card of the week, and it's Religion, which says Canon, Rules, and Commandments. So for some of us this week, the actual topic of religion may come up. We may be thinking about what our beliefs are. We may get into conflict with people over religion, or even just discussions, not necessarily conflict. But I think the bigger picture is we all have these rules that we give ourselves, whether consciously or subconsciously. And sometimes we need to examine those. What are ours and what have been imposed on us from the outside that we don't necessarily agree with? Some of them we might, but a lot of them we may not agree with. And so we have to really examine what are the rules that we feel are running our life, and do they make sense for us anymore? Are they holding us back? Or are they tools that are moving us forward? And I think that's something we really need to examine this week. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. I hope it was helpful. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.